Every dog has its day. Roscoe was a big, ugly bulldog. He wasn't very smart, but he had a good heart. Roscoe's owner left him chained up outside each day when he went to work. Roscoe liked being outside. He was always nice to everyone. He didn't even bother the rat that lived in a nearby hole. A group of boys often passed Roscoe on their way to and from school. One day, one of the boys had a candy bar in his hand as he walked by. Roscoe jumped up when he smelled the candy bar. He tried to run over to the boy, but his chain stopped him short. The boys all laughed when they saw Roscoe pulling on his chain. The boy with the candy bar held it in front of Roscoe's nose. He kept it just out of reach to tease him. All the boys laughed as Roscoe tried to reach the candy bar, but couldn't. The next day, one of the boys picked up a stick as he walked up to Roscoe. He held the stick over Roscoe's head and said, "Want to play fetch?" Roscoe stood up on his hind legs, but he couldn't reach the stick. "Go get it," the boy yelled as he threw the stick down the alley. Roscoe tore off running after the stick. When Roscoe reached the end of his chain, he was yanked off his feet with a yelp. The boys laughed so hard that one of them fell to the ground. From then on, those boys never passed Roscoe without doing something mean to him. Sometimes they teased him. Sometimes they called him names. Sometimes they threw things at him. But they never left him alone. Poor Roscoe was having a hard time. He had become really sad. His hair started to fall out, and he stopped eating his food. He was always on the lookout for those boys. He was always wondering what they would do to him next. The rat that lived in the alley had been watching. She understood that people are sometimes mean to animals for no reason. She didn't think it was fair. She didn't think it was nice. She decided to help Roscoe. The rat watched and waited. When Roscoe went to sleep for his afternoon nap, she quietly sneaked over to him. She began chewing on Roscoe's leather collar. She had only chewed through half of it when she heard loud voices down the alley. The rat raced back into her hole and saw the boys were coming. Roscoe was awake now and was shaking with fear. When the boys saw Roscoe, they laughed and started throwing sticks at him. Roscoe didn't know what to do. He growled and charged at the boys with all his strength. This time, when he got to the end of his chain, he burst right through his collar. The boys ran off as fast as they could, but one of them slipped and fell. But before he could get up again, Roscoe was there. The frightened boy thought Roscoe would bite him for all the mean things he had done. When Roscoe saw how scared the boy was, though, he began to gently lick his hand. That boy made sure the others never bothered Roscoe again. Every dog has its day, and that day was definitely Roscoe's. It was a pretty good day for the rat, too.